What's up everybody, Peter McKinnon here. Welcome back to yet another video. Today we're talking editing photos, getting massive results with very little work. So this video is not targeted to the professional, not targeted to the photographer who is making a living or making money or doing jobs with photography, but more so hobbyists that are just looking to get cool shots without having to put in a ton of time to get them. With respect to post-production editing. Probably one of the best softwares for that is Luminar Neo, who are the sponsor of today's video, but they specialize in making software that's mostly just one slider for results. Slide things, click buttons, push things, stuff happens, bam, crazy photo. Now, a lot of the software that exists right now for editing photos is great. It does take time to get used to. It does take time to learn, repetition, process. You develop a workflow, you learn techniques, you grow with the software and you use it for years. Luminar Neo is the kind of software that you can just open, load a photo in, and just start editing and get pretty crazy results without having to learn the ins and outs of these specific techniques found in other software. So I'm gonna load in a photo. This is just a random shot when we were out doing the telephoto video the other day, the shooting with a 100 to 500. If you haven't seen that, highly recommended. We had fun. There's a little in the field testing, etc. But we shot a few thumbnails. Here's one, for example, that was just shot 15 mil. There's no depth because it was super wide, standing on the road. So how do we take this photo and make it look maybe like it was shot with a 50 mil, give it some depth of field, change the color, do a lot of things that it would be, you know, needing quite a bit of skill in other software. I will show you how fast we can do that. So, all right, so let's add this photo here. Presets are on the right side. So let's click on this cold frame. That gives it a bit of a style. You'll notice the toolbars at the top. You click edit and that brings up all your typical local adjustments, plus all the creative adjustments on the right side panel. So we're gonna start by cropping this image. Horizon alignment is gonna automatically lock that to center. And then let's crop all the way up, get rid of the entire road. So I'm just in the center. We're kind of like using negative space. When you have more space in the photo than the subject itself, that's what photographers call using negative space. You see a lot of small objects in big places. That's a popular theme in photography, especially in social media. Now we gotta get rid of these power lines. And literally, like I said, one slider solutions. You go over to the erase tab here, remove power lines, and you just wait. It takes a minute, but when it's done analyzing the entire photo with artificial intelligence, that's the big kind of draw to Luminar. It relies on AI for all of these procedures. It analyzes everything and then just deletes the power lines. And with one click, your power lines are deleted. There's a little eyeball up here that you can click on and off and on and off to see the edit. Now that those are removed, it would be nice if this had some depth of field. If it was shot with a 50, the background wouldn't be in focus as much. And you can do that very fast and very easily with the Portrait Bokeh tool. So come down to the portrait section, click on Portrait Bokeh, and it's as easy as moving the slider. When you move the slider, the software not only adds blur to the background, but it just intuitively knows and masks out the subject in the foreground, the subject being me. You'll see the term mask show up a lot in this software. And if you don't know what a mask is, essentially mask is like a selection of an object, a person, a thing. And once that subject, person, or thing is selected, you can manipulate either just that thing or everything around it based on your preferences within that mask. So typically you have to create that by going around and cutting out the outline and doing a lot of work to create a mask. Whereas when you just drag the slider, the mask is made and the effect is applied to the background in seconds. Now, it's not always perfect. In instances like this, half the lens is just blurred. It thought the lens was the background, but that's why Luminar give you the brush tools to go in and make those refinements yourself. You'll notice over here we've got brush size. It says focus, defocus, and restore. So if we just zoom in, you can zoom in by going Command and plus, and we're just gonna paint around the lens, filling it in. And then when you let go, that lens will reappear because you've added it to the mask, to the selection. Now the opposite can be applied as well by going over to the defocus button and painting out everything you don't want to be selected. You don't want to be a mask. So if the software happens to miss a few things, you can use these features to refine it. So now that photo looks like it was probably shot with the 50mm at 1.8 f2, so to speak. This is already quite a bit further down the line than when we started, but there's more. Luminar have a Relight feature that's giving you the ability to light the background or the foreground. And again, it's literally just 3 sliders. So you can change the brightness near, the brightness far. A lot of this is just playing around. It's just whatever you think looks good. I've said it a million times, art is subjective. What you think looks good might not look good to someone else, or what might not look good to you looks good to someone else. Now, at any point, if you want to come up and see all the edits that you've done, flip over from the Tools tab to the Edits tab, and it shows you with a little purple icon there, kind of like, hi, you've got a bunch of emails that you need to check still, which will never go away on my phone. It says 12, so it shows 12 different stages of editing have happened to this photo, and you can flip back between them all and make adjustments there. Now, the last thing we're gonna do, I wanna show you, revolves around masks again, and this is ultimately probably the most impressive thing. Using the artificial intelligence, you can go over to the Develop tab, click Masking, and then click Mask AI. Now, the computer analyzes this with this mathematical looking Twilight Zone graphic. That's how you know things are happening beyond your control and understanding. And once it's done, it's pretty quick. It automatically masks everything in the scene. It detects if there's a human. It detects if there's mountains. It detects if there's architecture, flora, which is like foliage and trees and grass, the ground, if it is a man-made ground, is it natural ground? Are there cars, boats? It detects all these things and individually masks them ahead of time, so you don't have to. That then allows you to go in and choose those individual masks so that you can apply edits to just those sections. So look at this. It's detected human, sky, flora, natural ground, architecture. I guess it missed there. Hit sky, bam, your sky's selected. And then you can go over to adjustments, change the exposure of the sky, the color, so on and so forth, without affecting the rest of the image. And that applies to the other parts of the image that are also masked. So that significantly speeds things up. Now, I will reiterate, this isn't perfect. It's super fast, and they give you the tools, again, to go in and refine it to make it better, but it's massively speeding up that time. That workflow is going to be increased tenfold. This is ideal for hobbyists, for people that are getting into photography that want to make an impact, that want to learn things fast and just get a very quick understanding and apply results now. Lots of cool features, lots of different options, and that's just a little bit of an example and a demo of how Luminar can help you as a beginner photographer and as a hobbyist to make your photos stand out a little bit more than they might already. So let's take a look at the before and the after. That's not too bad for dragging a few sliders. So if you want to try Neo, check out the link in my description. You can download it and try it for free. See if it's something that you like. Thanks again to Luminar for sponsoring this video. So guys, that's it for me for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something. If you're new to photography, check out my different playlists. I have tons of videos going over how to edit photos, how to shoot photos, equipment that's useful, equipment that's not useful. Stick around because we got more where all of this is coming. Some fun announcements coming soon as well, so stay tuned for those. Hit the like button if you like this video, smash it if that's something that you're into 2022 style. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.